So here we go with the second half, and it's going to be first of all we're going to do the Tai Chi 16 that we've been practicing, and hopefully, and I'm sure everyone has already got it in their minds, but it never harms to do that again. And I just did the refresh of the Tai Chi 8 because some of that comes before the bit that we've been practicing, and it may well be that we can join those two bits together in a couple of weeks. So Tai Chi World Tai Chi Day is on a Saturday. It's Saturday the 25th or the 26th, and the group that I belong to at Westbury will be doing a little celebration day, and everybody on this group is welcome to come along, and it'd be nice to meet some people that have not there's no one online today that we haven't met, but there are a couple of new people that would be nice to meet. Okay, good idea. Let's get on. So come to the front of your space, because as you know, we're going to do the 6 little backward steps in a moment. So from at the outset, we will be standing with our feet together, or as near together as comfortable, and just breathing gently. So just allow the breath to regulate itself. And generally speaking, unless there is some instruction from your tutor, you generally just make your breath nice and even, and so no gasping of breath or deep breathing as such. It's just a regulated, soft breathing. And sometimes I am a bit guilty of just like saying breathe in, breathe out, without giving that other instruction that actually it's a soft, slender breath. So it shouldn't really tax your lungs, but you should just be aware that your breath, and that's where the movement will help your breath. So sometimes it will be this length, and sometimes it will be deeper, but still very slender. And if you don't want to do the actual regulated breath, that is okay, and that's actually a very good way to be. So just making sure that your breath is nice and relaxed. So here we go with our practice for the Tai Chi International Day. So we're turning our hands so our palms are facing forward, because we're going to do a salute, bringing up the hands to above the head, touching, and then lowering the hands to face height. Once they're there, bending over slightly, the salute, then coming back. When we finish, we open like a book, our hands like a book, and just let the air come down on top of them, sensing the air. And we're in to position for making the commencing step. So with the next in-breath, we raise the left heel, bring the arms up, and then gently placing the leg where you feel is right for your natural stance. Don't worry if you haven't, you can just regulate that as you go along. So we do 3 commencing steps. And then we artificially cut out a few of the steps. We go into forward Here we do the apparent close-up. Turning and letting that all float down. Weight to the left and picking up, sorry, weight to the right and making the beak. Weight to the left, picking up the grain and the leg, coming up high, low, drop the heel or slide the leg and just keeping the beak where it is, and we open into single whip. Then we let the weight go onto the left leg and bringing up the right leg to instep, we make the loop and soften down the loop. The front of our space, we prepare for repulse monkey. Weight goes to the left, open our arms to the right, and then weight coming up to centre point as the hand comes into your ear, lifting left leg and gradually moving half step back and gently just opening now to the left. Hand comes into the ear, lift the right leg and repulse monkey. You can see there that I've sort of swiveled around to get all my, but it wouldn't matter too much if you just carried on in a incomplete line, or a non-straight line as it were. Just wiggle. This will be the third one on this side, so that will be the last step. And when we finish that last step, then move the right foot and come back into Wuji. And we have moving the shuttles left and right, and we'll begin that one. Weight comes over to the left, right, embellish, and push the shuttles out in front of you, and then allow them to come back. Then we come back to Wuji. Clockwise with the right hand, clockwise with the left hand, hold ball, weight to the left, embellish, stepping to the right, push, and turn, and back to thing. And then we come back into upright and make bow. And that is the end of that sequence. So hopefully you've got that all on video now. What it's nice to do is actually, sorry, I think I've got a message. Is that? Okay. It's nice to do like a repetition of that, but we won't do it online today, as you've got it now on the video, and you can just go and do it several times, replay it, or just get it in your mind, and then eventually it will come into like a flow state. Going on to, cause I said we were going to do some more work from the emotional stability, and So we're thinking, and I believe you all know this. So emotional stability within the 5 elements, the theory of the 5 elements, is that the elements of the earth, 5 main elements of the earth, are linked to our main sets of organs. They're also linked to our emotions, and they're linked to colours, sounds and thoughts. So all of those, and a movement. So all of those things in your mind, I know it's a lot to think about, a lot for me anyway. But if you can, let's do the, we did metal last time, and we're going to do wood this time. Wood is linked to your organ, the liver organ, and the emotions are, at one end would be anger, upset, confusion and negativity, and then right at the other end, and transforming through our thoughts, even if it is artificially, so we're practicing how the transformation can be, kindness, control and decisiveness. And just a word there that sometimes we do need, some of us are particularly positive all the time, and it doesn't mean that we have to sort of like strike a negative tone, but it's to think, is to weigh things up sometimes. Weighing things up, it's easy to be in that sort of situation where you know, we are kind to the point of actually destroying our own self. So carefully think about that and how we can practice a little bit of assertiveness in a kind way. And some people need to hear that from us sometimes. So the colour green transforms to emerald, and the sound would be she. So you can do that on the out breath with this. My antidote for getting into a positive and kind state of mind is carrying out an action of kindness to someone who will not know that it was you. So that's not so easy to do. So that can be through your words, through your prayer, through your any kind of action that you can take. I don't know. It's hard to think about off the cuff, but if you have somebody that you can create that sort of kindness with, brilliant. Okay, so the movement is simple, and it is normally done in a circle or a round, and it's just pressing out forwards into a sort of wooded area, like you're going through a wood. And you can do it however you want to, so just a little pressing out into that open. So it can be done quite sort of statically. You might be pressing up, you might be pressing down. So we do an she sound on the return of the breath. So if you pushed out, that would be breathing in. She. And you might want to just like think about how that feels in your throat, that noise. I can't hear any of you, so you can hear me. It's quite high, actually. It's quite high, so, but there is a vibration going on. So off we go with that, just thinking about how we might be able to make this kind act. rest. So there was, I know we were just thinking about the sound there, but also thinking of colour has a way of opening the mind to thoughts, and creative thoughts especially. When you see colour, not everybody sees colour the same, so another thing that we're aware of, that we're not all the same. We can be viewing the world in a certain way, and in the five elements theory, as we think of that organ and we think of the natural aspect, we also think of some sort of transformation of that energy, and the transformation is easily accessed through your thoughts, thinking of being green and then being an emerald. So that the ancients have linked that. So the emerald being a green gem and stone that is highly regarded, and we don't have to sort of have an emerald or be anything, you know, like that, but if we can think of the colour green as we do this, and then on the she move sound, or on the out breath, think about somewhere in your mind something glowing, being green and then glowing emerald. Okay, so it's a transformative thought in your mind, and what we hope to set up is a transformative, another transformative action happening. Sorry, let me just, okay. So let's just do that then. So the green, we've got the wood around us, that's the natural element. We've got the liver, which is on the right side of the body. That's all you need to really know. A big organ, has a lot of jobs to do. And the sound, she on the out breath, colour green, thoughts of kindness, but also thoughts along the whole spectrum of that. So you might spend 5 minutes contemplating this area. We'll just do a minute now, just all those thoughts in mind. Breathing in. She. Pushing through the wood. Imagining the green transforming to emerald. And visualizing our own transformation into a good place, vitality and strength and health. Okay, I've just spent a little time on that because I thought it might be worth having it sort of in the pocket, as it were. Okay, so we'll move on to, I'll just check how long we have. Well, we've got a little bit longer. So my plan was to movements from last week. We did the whole of the Badwarijin, and I would really like to do that again. So we can do one of each of the movements instead of like doing a lot of repetitions, because we know it really well. We can do one of each, and that helps us to use our brain to think of the upcoming movement. So I won't be giving loads of instruction, and that's helping my voice. So you will be relying on your own knowledge here. And I hope that that will then feed into when you can do that all on your own. So we begin with 2 hands upholding. And just let our breath normalise. It's hard when you're talking to do that, but just let my breath normalise, and then we'll begin the movements. 2 hands upholding sky. We go straight into the second movement, which is just go into a wider stance there so that you can do that. Shooting the arrow, pulling the bow as if to shoot the arrow. Number 3, crane spreads its wings. Number 4, looking back. Right. Left and right swing. Whichever way. Number 6, up and down stretch. Number 7, diagonal knock in a wide stance. Number 8, toe and heel bounce. So let's start again. backwards. So a crane spreads its wings. Looking backwards. Left and right swing. Up and down stretch. Diagonal lock. Finish with the arms, hands interlocked. And just let your brain travel into your body. Feel the vitality coming through, feel the energy, feel the mind at work with the body, and relax into the recovery, rejuvenation. Sometimes there is that pause in life, and or a comma. If you're looking at your brocade that you're making, sometimes there is that element there, and basically, you know, if you had time to make your bit of brocade or something like it. Some of you know, I think that I belong to a stitching group, and we also practice other crafts and things. I'm quite into the sort of the arts that have been created in the East as well. So we've got like a lot of meditative stitching. If anyone's interested in that, I have lots of information. And in fact, the group is in Bradford-on-Avon, and we will be opening that up to some visitors or coming along just to see what we do. I'll let you know when it's happening, and it's usually just once a month or something that we do a special event. And some coming up will be the Chinese brush painting, which I'm quite involved in, and sashiko stitching, just making any kind of thing, creative thing, just to help us in our way along. So I will say goodbye and thank you everyone for today's community, which I'm grateful for. And think about the action that you can do. So it can be an action within yourself of kindness. Kind thoughts are, you know, sometimes we forget, you know, in the fast-paced world that we're in, that kind thoughts are also very easy when you practice them. So with all that, I'll say goodbye. See you next time.